One. Okay. All right. All right. There we go. We are live. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is a beautiful thing right here with a brother named KhalidisEternal. And before he introduced himself, I just want to sit up here and say for this brother, I follow him since 2015, and he has a very knowledgeable about money, finances. Went through a lot of things in life, and I just like what he has to say, man. So he hit me up on one of his YouTube comments, say, "Hey, let's do a live stream." So I was like, "Hey, here we go." And I'm just gonna go ahead and bring this knowledge here. So KhalidisEternal, man. Introduce your folks to the people, man. What you all about?
All right, my brother. I want to thank you for having me on your channel and give me an opportunity to present, myself, my information, a little bit about my past, my background, and the man I am today. I will say this is actually my first live stream, so I'm excited. At the same time, a little bit anxious and stuff like that. And
Okay.
I've been doing the videos, I guess, since about maybe 2012, I believe. Um, and I was coming onto YouTube and started watching some of the other content from the earlier days, like Thomas Sotomayor, the Harsh Twins, and I found a lot of it entertaining. And then I saw guys like Saw Another TV and stuff, and I'm just like, as I was watching these guys, I'm just like, man, I could do that, or man, I'm opposition to what he's saying. How can I get my perspective and my point of view and my life experience out here for people to hear and stuff like that, and be able to influence, impact, or help someone in a positive way.
Okay.
Um, Now, I come from a two-parent household. My mother and father were both they were married. And they were together until my father passed. Maybe about 10 years ago. So I come from a very stable background.
Okay.
Um, but I grew up in the '90s, kind of like when during the crack era, and when things were like, you really had the emergence of what you call like the gangster rap, or the street rappers and stuff like that, which kind of changed the environment where I was at in Virginia, because Virginia was like a lot slower than like New York, Philadelphia,
Yeah.
New Jersey. And so as a young man, I found myself, you know, running with guys who I grew up with and getting into things that I shouldn't have gotten into, as a lot of young black men do in urban areas and stuff like that. Even though I didn't necessarily come from a traditional urban setting, I
Okay.
would say that my parents were probably like, you know, working class people, whatever, not necessarily middle class, but definitely working class. But, I was out there in the hood with the fellas, with the guys, smoking, drinking, chasing women and stuff. And what ended up happening is that one of the I'm kind of doing like a quick overview. Like I said, if you have any questions or any fillers that you want me to do, please feel free to ask.
Oh yeah.
So what ended up happening was is that one of the guys who um I was running with, he kind of like disappeared and stuff, and so like all these rumors about he got in some trouble. He was a car accident. It was like he was like a myth lore or whatever. And he ended up coming back on the scene, maybe like the late '90s, early 2000s, and he had gotten his act together. He had moved down to Alabama. He went to Alabama State University, and
Okay.
he had transferred to Old Dominion University and stuff. And so he came to look me up. He was just like, "Man, what you doing?" At the time, I was just kind of working, kind of laying low, trying to stay away from the crowd I was hanging with at first, because I was always getting into trouble with them. And I'm just like, man, this work. He just like, well, yeah, man, you got to go to college. So I was about
Mm.
24 at the time. I'm like, wait, man, yeah, I'm gonna go one day. I'm just trying to work, give me a little bit of money together, and then
Yeah.
I'll try to start that path. He's
Right.
just like, no, man, you need to go now. So he pretty much forced me to go up there and get an application and fill out an application for North State University and Old Dominion University. And
Mm.
I didn't get accepted into ODU. I did get accepted into North State, and I really appreciate that they allowed me into the university, allowed me to have that experience. And he was just like, well, yo, man, when you get in, you can actually transfer over to ODU where I'm at. And so my dad was like, no, you need to stay with the Black University. They allowed you in there, whatever. They gave you opportunity. You need to run with that and stuff. And it was a very influential experience, saying, being around all Black professors and stuff like that, and all Black students from all over the country and some different parts of the world. So it really opened my eyes up to, you know, a greater understanding of the African diaspora, and that we come from many different cultures, languages, customs, and stuff. And graduated from college about 2001, and my degree was in sociology. So
Okay.
I had some opportunities like to work like as an apartment manager for a housing complex. I had opportunity to go work for like what was it? It was like a detention center or whatever. But they were hiring North State students, right out of the bat, off from
Okay.
from the sociology department. But then the opportunity came my way, whereas Walmart was hiring. They were hiring straight in as managers through the college graduate program, and they were paying pretty good money.
That's
So they were
good.
paying, this is like 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, it's like, to me, $30,000 was a lot of money at the time. See what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
We're
like,
gonna get into
okay,
that too. I'm
uh,
watching the videos. I said we're gonna get into about the you how you broke down the U.S. economy. I'm gonna get into that in
yeah,
a minute. Yeah, but go ahead.
okay, cool. So yeah, man. So I ended up working for Walmart and getting married, getting a divorce. I worked for Walmart about 10 years. Then I
Okay.
went on to work for Bank of America and stuff like that. I wasn't in the bank. I was in what you call the back office. So I was the ones like doing the credit applications,
Right.
managing the checking accounts, savings accounts, dealing some with mortgages and stuff like that. So I had the opportunity to see what the actual process was behind the scenes as to who gets approved, who doesn't get approved, how money is transacted, in our economy and stuff like that. So man, it was a really great experience, But
Okay.
that's pretty much me, in a nutshell. So any questions that you want to ask me, brother, I'm ready. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
and that's good, man. Did some research on you, so that was accurate. Yeah, you went to Norfolk State University and studied sociology. And what I like about you, what I was so intrigued in one of your videos, man, how the algorithms works. You talked about the psychology of money, and I was looking
Right,
like back then in 2015, 2014, my parents were separated and stuff. So I was pretty much on my self development path, and I was reading
right,
books like Think and Grow Rich. I was reading books like Magic of Thinking Big by
right,
Dr. David Schwartz. I was writing the power of the subconscious mind, and and I followed this person named Abdul Muhammad. Now I think his channel was named called How to Find Your Passion, but he had a financial channel, so I was into finances and stuff, and listen to Robert Kiyosaki and stuff. So when I came against you, on your channel, I was like, wow, like he seemed like he has some sense and stuff, man. Because not so many African American channels really talk about this stuff. Like I was really intrigued. Let's go back into your child support video, how to beat that, because a lot of brothers, man, they still suffering from that. I think you talked about abeyance, and you can get that from your rears. And the abeyance is basically disuse of a suspension in a way. It's like you can kind of find a way, like you can make some payments
right,
on it, but the courts, for the most part, they literally illegally try to put this on you, like, hey, if you don't pay this full amount, we taking you to jail, and they're not supposed to do that. A lot of brothers didn't
right.
know that, man. So elaborate on that, man. Did you experience any type, what motivates you to actually talk about the child support system? Did you had any negative experiences about that?
Well, yeah, man. Say I was married
Mhm.
for about 3 years. Then I got divorced. I went through the child support system.
Okay.
And I went in there thinking like this was going to be like a balanced experience, that it will be fair. But what you end up finding out is that it's all about money. It takes you $100 to get married, but it takes you $5,000 to get divorced, and then you find yourself the next 18 years paying for a child, and they don't take into consideration the difficulty that you may run into, you know in trying to make those monthly obligation payments or biweekly obligation payments and stuff like that. And so you
Hmm.
try to go in there and explain yourself, man, and they aren't hearing that. So I do think with all the other guys out there that's doing videos and stuff like that now, that they're educating guys, and that's the best thing I can say to anybody, to educate yourself, because it's like a duality. You know, on one hand, as a man, you're supposed to take care of your child.
Right.
You know, number two, you should need direction on how to take care of your child. That should be something that the mother and father should be able to come to terms with in handling. Now, unfortunately, we live in a times whatever where both parties may not come into agreement. So you
Mhm.
may need a third party to come in and try to help to make sure the child isn't lost, in that, exchange and stuff. But it's just the fact that it's just totally biased, and it's really just like money generating and stuff. It's like, I've dated women who, like, say they were married to someone, right? And men used to take one or two courses, right? Men would either go through divorce, go through the child support situation, try to stay there for their child, be with their child, go through all the court processes and, fighting with her and dealing with her, having her mistreat him. Or a lot of times men would just like cut the ties and
Yeah.
then go form another family based off their first experience and stuff like that and
Mm.
do fairly well. And I've seen it where it's like I'm dating this female, she has a child, and she's sending the child to go stay with the father, and with he has a solid foundation. He's remarried, he has other children, stuff like that, and you know, they're there and they don't want to leave. Hold on one second, brother. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, sorry about that. But yeah, so the situation where they're there and they don't want to leave. And then when you come back to the mama, they're very unhappy because the mother isn't providing the same solid foundation. The mother isn't, putting the kind of attention into them like the father is and stuff like that. They're too concerned about their friends or their work or some other man that they're trying to appease, man. So, it can be a very unpleasant experience. But the more you educate yourself about like the statutes and codes and the
Yes.
civil procedures regarding family court, the more you'll be empowered to go in there yourself or to be able to tell your attorney, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. This is what I want. Hey, I want joint custody. I want, equal responsibility regarding taking care of the child and stuff. And hey, she can take care of her when she's with her. I can take care of her when she's with me. That really negates child support if you have a 50-50 custody split because they're looking at the time frame as to who has the child more. They always try to give the mother more time than the father so that they can, uh, charge the father for child support and call him a non-custodial parent and stuff
Exactly.
like that,
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
and in that process of stuff, hey, they're getting their percentage from collecting these payments. They may get 5, 10%. They may
Right.
even charge interest on it once it becomes to the
Mm.
point where it starts to get into arrears and stuff like that. So man, it's so anything dealing with money is commerce, it's business.
Yeah.
And when you take we put the business aspect of it, it's really kind of deletes the family core system as being like, hey, we just try to make sure that everything's in best interest for the child, whereas the child is really just an instrument to get money. That's why I call like child versus saying, support your child is called child support. Child
Child
support the
support.
system. Child supports the mother. You know what I mean? Every money that you're getting, that you're
Right.
giving off is like going to everybody else, and it may not even be going to the child. Now, all mothers aren't doing that, but a lot of mothers are. They're taking in shopping and
Oh
buying
yeah. No
clothes and
accountability.
taking
Yeah.
other men and stuff like that out. With the money
Mhm.
that they're getting, and man, it's just a travesty. And the system needs to. I'm not saying that it needs to go away, but it definitely needs to be restructured so that it's more fair.
I was thinking about that too, because as brothers, for the city council, because don't get me wrong.
Oh, let me see. I just lost my audio. Hold on one second.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, what are you saying now?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Let's see, my audio's messing up. Like, all right, what are we saying now?
Yeah, can you hear me? Probably
I
like I
can't
come back
hear.
in, come back out.
It's what happened now?
Yeah, everything good?
No, I can't. I can't hear you. Hold on one second.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let me try something. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh.
I appreciate everyone coming in to the live stream. I really appreciate that. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Um, yeah, you guys can continue to like, comment, subscribe, share. Shouts out to Cryo Boy in here. Cryo Boy. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, brother. Let me see. And come back in a minute. Mm-hmm. Shouts out to people on Facebook is watching. Just really good. Definitely appreciate that. My boy Killzone Jones. What's up, Creole boy? He's been going back. Got some audio issues in this particular moment though. But yeah, if y'all have any questions and stuff, just just let me know. Just put it in the chat right here. I got some more series of questions and everything here. So appreciate this brother. He's a good brother here. If you go to the description box, go ahead and just like, comment, subscribe to his channel. Has like a variety of good content there. It's been doing it since like 2014, 2015. So yeah, I'm doing good, Cryo boy. I'm doing pretty good, man. Been working a lot, man. I see you. I gotta check your video out too. I think you made one recently about people don't want to see you win. So I'm gonna have to get you on here sometime soon, man, and talk about that. That's really good of you. Keep it up, and things gonna look up for you, bro. You got a bright future here with this YouTube stuff, man. So just keep it moving, keep keep
Let's
going.
see. Sorry
And
about
you,
that, bro. My apologies, man. That's a sincere apologies. I'm not sure what's
oh
going on with this thing. Let's see. Let me try this here.
yeah, I can hear
Let's see.
you. No problem, bro. Yeah, no problem, no problem.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Let's see. Kind of working through these here, man. You said you can work through these here. Everybody that's watching, if anybody's watching, this treat this as an intermission.
Yeah, commercial.
All right, let's see. This thing still ain't working right, man. I
Try
don't
to
know
come
what's
in,
going on.
try to come
Let's
back
see.
out. Let me see.
I can barely hear you.
Let me see. Hold on, I'm gonna kick you out and come back in. We're gonna fix the audio issue.
Hold on. Let's see. Am I able to go out and come back in?
Yeah.
Am I able to go back out and come back in?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Yeah, I can't hear you, but so what I'm gonna try to do is go back out and come back in, bro. I'm sorry. Hold on one moment.
That's good.
Okay. Okay. It's the last thing. What are they calling me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Let's see. All right. Say something to me.
Hello?
Okay.
Let me see. Let me see. Try to remove him back. Kick him out, then he come back in. Ooh. All right, so we're gonna do some intermission stuff. 1 second. Let's see. All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
Okay.
All
Everything
right.
good? Everything good?
Everything's good, man.
Okay, we
You know
good.
what I'm saying?
All right, that's cool. That's cool, man. That's cool. We're gonna keep it rolling. It's all good. Hey, show still goes on, man. People gonna come back. It's all good. I think it was just like a glitch in the system. What happened? So that's why they kick you out and kick you back in. But
My grandma used to say, right?
what you say?
My grandma used to tell me, she said, you know what? The circus came to town, right? And the head monkey fell out.
Right,
The ringmaster said the show must go on.
right.
One
The
monkey
show
don't
gotta
stop
go
no
on.
show.
We still got,
You know
hey
what
man,
I'm
we kicking this nonsense here. But look, man, I just want to say thank you for the child support thing, man, because that's interesting, man. Like getting to the state codes and stuff like that and the statutes, and actually you brought up too, have personal relationships too with like your financiers, your insurance companies, because a lot of things are going to the call centers, and you never know, you might get into immediate like emergency, so you might
Right,
need to, hey, be on first call, like, hey, I need this. Like money is more than just making it; it's more like having the skill to retain it and sustain it as well, man, and pass it on to generations. And I'm like, wow, like your channel was really deep on that, man. So, and it's just thankful that you actually utilize everything that you learned from
right.
working in big banking industries, man. So, you talked about too, as Black people, we need to stop branding ourselves. Like far as like focusing on branding, we need to focus on corporations. And corporations basically is an entity
Right.
that's separate of the owner. And you was like, hey, I mean, it's cool to like we start on niches like what eyelash businesses or t-shirts. We said let's start getting oil and gas companies. Let's learn how to own apartment complexes, man. That's interesting, bro, because as me, I was trying to get into real estate and do more in that, man. So, far as like the corporations and stuff like that, do you feel like in this state right now, in this generation, do you think there will be like a Black Wall Street in that sense? Like, do you think we're gonna start having more Black corporations, or it's just gonna be we still doing the same stuff, like trying to own a records company, it's just little stuff that's not gonna really pass on to generations.
Okay. And the reason why I was kind of smiling while you was speaking about some of the videos, like, wow, he really has watched
Yeah.
some of my videos. I made that one I quite like about some several years ago. And I do think that we are at the entry point of Black people actually owning corporations.
Okay.
Um, but we're not quite there yet. And I think it's actually being channeled through a lot of your entertainers like Jay-Z and P Diddy and stuff like that. But we still have a ways to go, and we look at wanting to be the boss, to be in charge. But I think the one difference between like our counterparts, which would be white people, you know what I'm saying, is that we have great leaders, right? And I said this before my video. We have great leaders, but they also have great leaders who build great institutions, and their
Mm.
institutions far outlast the leader. Whereas with the great leader coming from us, generally, like when they actually pass on or fall by the wayside by whatever means or reason, the institution either ends up dissolving eventually, or it's never the same as it once was. So
Okay.
in having a business and a corporation, if you really want to be rich, if you build a great business, you want to what? You want to incorporate your business. You want to bring on a board of directors. You want to go public with it so that hey, you can what? Get people to invest in your business. That's how you become a billionaire. Either you go public with it, and people invest in, it, and then you use their money to open up other business ventures and more stores, or either you
Hmm.
eventually sell it, and then go start something else. And I think that's the level that you know we haven't gotten to as of yet. But I do think that with all the people that are now becoming more millionaires and big and multimillionaires out of Black population or whatever, we will see that here in the near future once they get a better uh, business acumen. Because when we go to places like your Steinmarks and your Walmarts and your Burger Kings and your McDonald's, it's just what it is. It's Steinmart, Burger King, Walmart, McDonald's. So everybody goes there. But when you always emphasize, well, this is Black owned, this is Black us, this is ethnic related, you kind of
Right.
like put yourself in a niche market. You kind of like, seclude yourself from other, ethnicities, income or money. See what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is, for us, by us. This is any kind of black business that you can name, stuff like that. It kind of just like segues you out of getting everybody to spend your money. Like I say, everybody goes to Walmart, even though
Yeah.
we know that Walmart is owned by this Walton family, but there's no emphasis. Well, hey, this is white man's business, even though we know it's his
Right.
business. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
he's not
Yeah.
emphasizing that. I think because of our past and where our forefathers and our ancestors come from, is really special to us. But at the same time, it's the point now we need to take it to a another level and be like, hey, this is just a business. I want you to come spend your money with me. I'm going to give you, good services or good product for the money that you spend with me, and make sure
Mm.
that your business is multicultural, that
Right.
your employees reflect the society and the community as a whole. That way you can get everybody to come in. You have Asians, you have whites, you have Hispanics. Everybody's there as a part of your network, whatever that you have working for you, so that you can bring in all people. Like just like our counterpart does.
Right. Okay. And then I'd like too, that was just a brilliant tactic when you talked about it's good to have, somebody be the face and of your business while you in the
Yeah,
background making that money. I
right,
was like, man, I really thought about it because that's, because as African Americans, yeah, we like to boast like, hey, I'm the front one, and that's
right.
probably good starting off, but after a while, like you said, if you want that long wealth, you want to be in the background that people don't know, but
That's
is like you
right.
said, is open to a variety of people. That's
Right.
that's interesting right there, man. Because like I
That's
think
good.
when P Diddy when he was I thought you would think that he created Ciroc, but he did. He was just a face of it. Somebody in the
That's
background
right. Right.
was making all that money. So I was like, wow,
Right.
go and promote it.
Right. And I don't have the whole history with me on that, but you're absolutely right. And initially, he only had a minority stake in that business.
Yeah.
And as the brand as the band grew due to him being the face of it, he started to get more of a larger share of, in the revenue because he actually made it what it was. And man, I tried to link my iPad up to my Wi-Fi. I couldn't get it. I would actually Google what the company name was before it became Ciroc. Actually, it was like it was under another company, and the
Hmm.
brand failed. And then because the brand failed, they sold it to this other company. They went to P Diddy or Puff, whatever he calls himself today, and he actually branded it Ciroc and then became the ambassador for it. So he's getting money because hey, he's tied to that brand. Which is hey, he making good money, but like I said, he still doesn't own it. That's a lot of things that we didn't know 10, 20 years ago. Because everybody said, okay, you're gonna come out, you're gonna say that you own this, and then we come to find out, like, wow, they really didn't own this. Just like
Yeah.
with Jay-Z and Damon Dash with their clothing line. Dame Dash says that in with their clothing line, the Rock Nation clothing line or whatever, Rockaware,
Yep.
that he owned a third, Jay-Z owned a third, and then it was these two Russian guys who owned a third. And so
Mm.
whenever they will vote on a situation, him and Jay-Z will always vote together. So they had controlling interest of the company. But when him and Jay-Z split, Jay-Z voted with the Russian guys, and then Dame Dash sold his share of it because he didn't want to be involved in it any longer. He sold his share for like $20 million. Then Jay-Z turned around and sold it for $200 million.
Jeez.
You know what I'm
Man.
saying? Yeah,
Wow.
man. So
I, and I'm thinking this rolls on to my next topic, like, entrepreneurship might be the way, especially for to get us out of this rut. I feel like as African American, the African American community, if you probably looked this up too, is that our money is not multiplying at an alarming rate. I mean, it's like they said like every 5 minutes the black dollar goes out outside of our communities. It's not really multiplying in an exceeding rate. And that's because, it could be lack of businesses, or it could be like a moral issue that we don't trust each other when it comes to doing, customer service or doing business transactions with one another, and we kind
right,
of like put each other's down. And so I'm thinking like, we do statistically speaking in America right now. So they said what I think I wrote it down here. It was a lot here. Just want to be accurate. So you said like 71% of Americans make less than $50,000 a year. But if you make less than $50,000 a year, you consider poverty and a poverty line in America. Then you got like 51% make less than $30,000 a year. And
Right.
and it's kind of sad because especially if you paying for your health insurance, gas, your car insurance,
Right.
car note, you got rent. I mean, and and that's human beings, we want to have some luxuries of life too. We want to party on the weekends, but at the same time,
Right.
you still go back to reality and take care of your daily business.
Yeah.
And do you think with the cost of living that's exceedingly going up right now, because it was different back then 20, 30 years ago. I say back in the 50s, 60s, my grandfather, man, he used to tell me like, yeah, man, like you really need too much of a college education to make it. I mean, all he did was, he got out of high school, worked for Ford Motor Company for 40 years and took care of a family. You know what I'm saying? With a salary like that. And I'm looking like, dang, I wish we can go back to that now, but I'm not making any excuses, but it just seemed like now it's like you gotta have a PhD or I mean trades are good too, but it's just like it's difficult, man. It's a different time, and
Right.
and you're making $10, $11 an hour. That's not enough to sustain a family. And when a brother is
That's
making
not
yeah, when a
right.
brother's making that type of money, it's very difficult for him to go ahead and have the motivation to get married, to be the right thing, and because he like, why should I do that if I don't not even providing as much, and then a woman's making way more than money than me? It's a psychological thing,
Mm.
and the reason why I
Right.
say all this is that do you think like I'm not saying the business will solve all of our problems, but do you believe like as a brother who was graduating from high school, he don't know what he wants to study? Should he just go ahead and try to like try to start a business, like work two part-time jobs and save money to start something small and work his way up, or should he just like majoring in a college, study?
I'll I'll say this here. In the times that we live in now, in the times that we're living in now, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
I would never, try to deter someone from the direction that they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But like with the college thing, I'm not as hyped on it as I once was because with the creation of online schools, um, the value in anything is rarity. You know, let's see, gold is worth more than silver because gold is more rare than silver. There's more silver in circulation and more silver to be mined than there is gold.
Mm-hmm.
Diamonds are worth more than gold because diamonds are more rare than gold and stuff like that. And it's hard to find diamonds. So so the value of it is in the rarity of it. So with the creation of all the online schools, the job market is so saturated. Everybody has a degree now. And so unless you have like a degree in some kind of like engineering, you was like an A student, not like a C student, like
Yeah.
an A student or whatever, it's gonna be tough and you're coming out in debt. You're coming out not being able to get a job to pay back, you know, student loan debt. Say if you come out, you're an engineer. Let's say you come out making $70,000 a year, right? That's probably on the high end, probably more like 40 or 50. Let's say 60 or 70, right? And you have $100,000 worth of debt.
Gary.
Your debt is already, I'm saying, outpacing what your earned income is. So you're trying to
Mm,
race to catch up. You're trying to race to catch up, even though the fact that hey, you do have the ability over a long course of time to actually, pay this off, and you can't be an engineer unless you go to school. But for
right.
people who like go into like feel like me, like sociology, the liberal arts, or whatever, you going and getting in all this debt, and it's just like the jobs aren't going to be there for you because number one, there's a scarcity. And like when I graduated, I came in like at the cusp of that area. I graduated in 2001 from North State University. At that time, online school was just really becoming a factor and being created and stuff like that. Troy State University everywhere, and all these other ones, Everest and all these other places, right? And then you
Right.
see, as you start to see more people coming to the job market with these degrees that they're earning from online, you started seeing people saying they were paying less and less people who had college degrees because the people who were graduating from the online universities, they weren't really prepared for the job market. It really
Mm,
didn't prep them for the professional work environment. So it kind of like decimated all of us. Cause like when I first graduated, I had like offers coming from everywhere, like put me to other different retailers and offering to pay me more money. But then after about 10 years or so, kind of like, man, you got to be okay. We bring you entry level. Here you go. You're gonna make that $10, $11 an hour. So I would definitely say I think that um, number one, I say a trade is a great way to go. We need to get back into building things, making things, infrastructure. The infrastructure is the main thing. You'll see a lot of the immigrants, like the Hispanics, are coming in. What you see them doing? They're dealing with the infrastructure. They're
Yes.
dealing with housing. See what I'm saying? They're dealing with roofing. They're dealing with the roads and stuff like that, and they're pulling their resources. That's really the key, to pull your resources together, either as a group or as a family. That's really how you build wealth. So I would say anybody that, if you want to work um, a job, two jobs, start off with some kind of hustle, and then eventually build that hustle into a business. Or a hustle may take you into a business opportunity or whatever that you didn't know existed. But I'll definitely say get you a hustle. Make YouTube videos, sell books, cut hair, cut grass. You go out here, like I say, me and my friend or whatever. Like I said, we had a restaurant inside of a nightclub. I mean, and we lit and we had an outside spot, right? Because we were doing like chicken sandwiches, fish sandwiches, fries, hot dogs, chili dogs, and we literally were having people coming by the club, not going in there and stopping to get food, and it was very uh, profitable. Not only that, we also had ice machine, we had inflatables, we
Mm-hmm.
had grill and stuff like that, gas grill, and we would do like parties and stuff like that. Somebody say I need to bring a flavor. Okay, it's $125 for excuse me, $175 for 4 hours. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you need to do ices, it costs this much. Popcorn, it costs this much, and stuff like that. And that was a niche that people weren't actually doing. So when we were doing that, man, we were making pretty good money. But then, I told dude, right? I was like, listen, always I did the books, right? I said, listen, make sure you always fill out these ledgers so that
Right.
we would know what the other one is spending, what the other one's doing. Oh man, we friends, man. We ain't worried about that. I trust you. So yeah, I trust you too. But once I was told or whatever, I would never give a person a reason to question your integrity. If I
Mm.
bring the paperwork, see what I'm saying? You ain't got to take my word for it. I got it in writing. So, we ended up falling out, man. I just took what I had invested in it, ended up going my own way. That he ended up going his own way, man. But hey, man, we're making pretty good money, man. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, definitely, I can get along. I can get kind of long with it. Definitely,
Oh, that's
if you
great.
have a business, I would emphasize start trying to get you a hustle together, and then try to grow that into a business. No, go get your small business license. Go ahead and incorporate it. As a sole proprietor or as an LLC, so that you get the experience of going through that process and what it takes
Right.
and everything.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's the way to go, man. I remember before I joined the service military, we ended up doing landscape, doing lawn care, and that was interesting, man. At first we had to get a truck and everything, get a trailer and put stuff together,
Right,
but it wasn't at first starting off was all right, but we had to get the equipment, but we started making that money back when we start, cutting grass and then splitting the money together. And
right, right, right,
and I was working a full-time job at the time too. So you know it is it is interesting though. You continue to do that though, it depends, how far you will go. And yeah, that's a good advice there. I mean, just starting something, man, and just you start learning too. You start learning more about, like, how business works, and customer service is very essential. You're taking care of more of your equipment and how much gas. We create
that's
like
right,
little, yeah, like a little accounting thing. How much money we put in gas
right,
and traveling everywhere. It's a really a good thing though, man. But the thing is though, you just have to sacrifice at least 5 6 years of your life, man, working hard, and so you can live the rest of your
right.
life that nobody else wish
That's
they
it.
could. So that's all it is about, the entrepreneurship. And I really got inspired too. I will say this too: if you don't know what business to start, I'll say get into stocks, and we're gonna talk
Okay.
about um now in your personal experience. I'm just say too what I believe in. So I think you made a video about investing is better than day trading, which in some
Right.
degree I kind of agree. So let's get into this, man. So stocks, man. What is your what's your thing about that? Like, say myself, somebody's like, listen, man, I don't want to start a business. I just want to invest in the business. Do you think that's a good outlook to create generational wealth?
hmm Um, I would say I think that anybody who actually like reads a lot of like financial material, whatever, that your icon would definitely be Warren Buffett.
Right.
One of the best books I ever read, was The Warren Buffett Way, and he was a student of Benjamin Graham, who actually taught him
Mhm.
investing and investing for the long term. And what the premise was is that you try to find stocks at a discounted value, and then you purchase those stocks. And then when the company actually goes back to the level that it's supposed to be at or whatever, then say you really can capitalize off of that investment, why it's in a discounted rate. That really made sense to me. Like for instance, right, like after the 2008 crash, Bank
Mhm.
of America stock was about $5 or $8 a share. Now it's about 25, $30 a share. So if you
You're right.
get in on that at that time, now I'm not advising anybody about investing, so you have to do your own research, your own homework and stuff like that, but it's a great way to earn, money over a long period of time. Another stock that I'm looking at now is GE. The GE has
Yeah,
dropped over the past few years from like $22 to like $6 a
mhm.
share now.
Yeah.
So, if they can maintain and hold on through this situation and they have a strong management team, when they come out, they can at least hit that high of at least $15, I would think, over the next 2 years. So if you have the disposable income to put a little bit in here, a little bit in there, and they pay a dividend, you know, over a period of time, saying that will equal a good sum of money depending on what you're able to put in. So my thing with stocks or whatever, right? It's a long term agenda. It's not
Yes.
like a day or week. You're talking about years. Like for instance, when I went to work for Walmart, right? I was work for Walmart right after I graduated. So I was 2002. I started with them, and they were teaching us about Sam Walton, how he did, and how he built the company, right? And the girl brought an article in the girl brought an article, right? And the article said that if you had invested $1,000 in Walmart in like
Mhm.
1973 or 72, it'd be
Wow.
worth $1 million in 2002. Now
Man.
that's a long period of time, but think
Yeah.
about this: from $1,000 investment, you have $1 million, and you can't. And if you're a person who can't really earn that kind of money in 30 years, hey, that could be a nice little nest egg for you.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah.
I say, wow, because in Walmart in the 90s, the stock split 3 times in the 90s. So like say if you had, say let's say you had one share, right? One share was worth, $100. When it split, you had two shares worth $50. So when it goes back up, you now have $200 for two shares and stuff like that. So that what impresses me about stock. A stock can really pay you a good amount over a long period of time by making incremental um, deposits into that. Now the only thing about day trading is, for me, based off my limited experience with it, is that if you really don't have the serious money to really get in
Mhm.
and invest, like at least at the low end, $10,000, then it's really not going to be life changing in my own personal experience and stuff
I
like that.
agree.
Now I know that you said that you did with forex, so maybe you can expand my understanding of whatever as to
Yeah, a
to
little
that
bit.
perspective.
Yeah, I did a little bit on. I had the demo account. So I haven't put any real money on it, but I have been practicing on it because I'm more into, I make my money through stocks a lot. So, but
Okay,
the day trading, like I seen people make money on that too. They had, like you said, they had a nest egg about 5,000. You can start with little as $500 and little things like
right,
that.
right,
And what it is
right,
that you have the Japanese yen, you can exchange with the British pound, all of that stuff, and the foreign
right,
exchange is constantly moving 24/7 and all that stuff.
right,
And where the stocks, it's like we focus on the U.S. economy a lot, how the economy is doing. Foreign exchange, people
right,
are exchanging money. So, and that's what it is. It's like, you put in, it's a whole nother video, but you can put in some money into it and then you can make your money instant. That's one thing that's that you want to make it instant though. Like the thing is too, it's all about leverage too sometimes and resistance, when to buy in, about the
right,
whole buy limits, stop limits, all that type of stuff. So you can make a lot of money and also too, you can
right,
lose a lot of money. I
right,
say, yeah, so I say those for people who are more experienced and stuff like that.
right.
And you got like if you're making like 80,000, 100,000 a year, you're making 60, 70,000 a year. I said this is probably a safe way to do it. But if you're a brother who working at, you know what I'm saying, you making like $8 an hour, $9 an hour and stuff, going to stocks because it's like Cash App, for an example. I'll say from my personal experience. In Ameritrade, you can create an account, man. And of course they go through all the prompts, they go through all your checking, your savings account, your goals. You want to be aggressive. And you literally go to Cash App, right? And then you can have a list of a whole bunch of stocks that you can invest in. Like me personally, I invested in Smile Direct Club. And Smile Direct Club is actually a new company. So it's a dental company that actually specializes in retainers and straightening people's teeth out. Yeah, it's a corporation in Nashville, Tennessee. Invested in Zoom. Zoom is good because everybody going back to school. So
right. True.
people gonna be online and stuff. And a lot of people doing Zoom meetings and Zoom calls, especially during this pandemic. And I'm gonna do something right here. Actually, Zoom is about it is expensive though. It's about $369.89 per share. But with Cash Out, you don't have to have all the money. You could put 10, 15, $20 down, $100 down, and still have a certain percentage of that share.
That's true.
And Ford is okay. I got Ford stock, Whiting Petroleum, American Tower. That's one of the world's largest cell phone towers. Excel Energy, Southwest Airlines, Spotify. Yeah, man, it's interesting. So I don't know if you got a Cash Out, but I would say in the future, get into that, man. You can make some dope with that, man. But yeah, but the thing is, what I got into stocks is like I was reading The Intelligent Investor. I think you said that's by Benjamin Graham. Yeah, and I was reading that stuff, man. I was just like, man, it made it so easy because I was listening to Dr. Boyce Watkins on YouTube, and he actually showed how to invest in stocks through Ameritrade. He was like, man, you use your money investing in Nike and stuff like that, man. And I'm looking like, okay, it's really that simple. So I ended up doing it, and I started researching more about money. So I was like, okay, how you do it? It's like, so you gotta have your money working for you. You don't want to work. So it's a good thing, man. It goes up and down, but you are right though. It is it's like a patient game. At the end of the day. Well, I just say that I think that's a good way to get into the business sector because if you don't have any skills, I feel like, or you feel like, you're not, I won't say not smart, but you feel like you don't have the patience right now, the grit to start a business, stocks would be a good, I think that's a big good alternative.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Stocks would be like now I would say you do have to do your homework with that as well. Like I said, I'm pretty sure like with like the the forex trading, ETFs, margin trading stuff like that. You got to know what's going on so that you don't lose your money. I think it's a little less effort like in just trading stocks itself. Like you want to know what the company is doing, how much debt it has, how much it's earning, as far as profit versus losses and stuff like that. So I don't think it's as in depth, but you still have to actually have some understanding of what the company's doing so that you don't take a hit that as well. Cause I tell you what, I had put some money into what's the name of that company? It was the one that was doing the tickets for the movies. Oh man,
AMC? No,
the one that went bankrupt. Oh God, Movie Pass.
Oh, Movie Pass. Oh,
yeah, man. They went from like they were bought over. I can't think the company bought them out, right? But the company bought them out, and what it was that you can go to movies like as much as you want, how often you want, many times you want, but the pass was $30. So the company that took it over took the passes from $30 to $10. So the stock shot up from like from like $2 or $3 to like $30 like within a month. And everybody was buying in. So I said, well, shoot, let me start buying in too. And so then what happened is that it ended up dropping that down to like $5 because they were burning through so much cash because he had to pay the movie theaters the money for the tickets. The tickets were like $15. So every time somebody go to the movies or whatever, they had to pay the offset of what the ticket costs.
Oh,
and so what ended up happening, so what happened was is that people were going to the movies and then handing the pass to their friends, and their friends were going to the movies, and they were burning through so much cash that man, they just ended up going under. I was like, man,
Dang,
You
man.
know,
It'd be like I know they was thinking like, wait a minute, we gotta stop this. Like, no, we gotta book this.
yeah, you know. I,
Yeah.
I was just like, man, listen, because what it was is that they started to put in place rules like they were saying like, okay, you can go to like 10 movies a month. You have to show your ID to ensure that it's you or whatever.
Right.
And there's other things in place. So people started balking. And so because people started balking at it, they relented and just kept it as it was. Like, no, y'all messing up. Sure, you're gonna lose some people or whatever, but some people gonna stay with all these Avenger movies and stuff like that coming out. You're gonna still have a majority of people that gonna stay signed up because it's still a good deal, even if you're paying like $15. You know what I mean? And the tickets are like 20, $25, depending on what
Oh,
area that you're in.
yeah.
You know, and you can go as many times as you want, just paying $15 a month. So it's still a good deal, but man, they didn't do it. And they had a couple of loans and stuff like that. They took and bought a movie studio with all these movies and stuff in it, and they thought that they could do like what Netflix and some of the other streaming content makers do. They thought they could have people go to movies and then take this information from people going to movies and sell it to the product makers and stuff like that. By saying this people looking at this and this what people are buying, but they couldn't make the sale. So yeah, man, I
Right.
lost out on that. I ended up owing money on that. I got a call back say, hey, you owe this
Yeah.
amount of dollars. I was like, why I owe this amount of money? It went under.
Sometimes
So
sell, yeah, sell, when to sell them and everything too. Like
yeah,
company going down. So yeah, it's interesting, man. You gotta know what you're doing, but
right.
it is what
If,
it is.
if, if invest in what you buy. If you like
Right.
Heinz ketchup, invest in Heinz ketchup. You know what I'm saying? The things that you like to buy, those are things that you invest in because you're a customer of.
Exactly. You might as well, yeah, get a piece of the share, man. So,
That's
you know,
right.
yeah, like AT&T and other businesses too, man. That's been
Right.
going up. But yeah, man. Oh, I just found out recently you can invest in Viacom. I just invested in that on Cash App. They actually, Viacom, they own all like the CBS, NBC, all that
Right.
stuff, MTV,
Right. Right.
B.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so it's interesting, man. And what I noticed too, like in New York, it's a lot of businesses like BlackRock. They got
Mm-hmm.
Goldman Sachs, and I mean, New York got a lot of investment firms there.
Right.
Um, I'm like, whoa, like so it's interesting though. But yeah, man, that's just pretty much expound my knowledge on that. That's good. Another thing, let's talk about. Then we talked about that. Hmm. So I like how you broke down like the whole when you had the pyramid, like you broke down how it's like 40% of the economy is controlled by 1%, and
Right.
they control like $6.8 trillion, and I'm like, that's interesting. And I like how you basically, I think the title of the video was like how the economy is designed to keep us poor from the start.
Right.
And so, do you think like middle class and stuff? Because I grew up in a middle class household and everything, and it was cool. Like we weren't rich or anything, but we never missed a meal. We always have a roof over our head. We was able to go on vacations, and but it wasn't to the point like my parents had money. Like, hey, we paying for your full tuition to college, or we're gonna get you this new car just because. It wasn't nothing like that. So, but do you think like maybe this is a personal thing. Do you think it's just be satisfying just for a brother or anybody just to, hey man, let's just be middle class, we be cool, what I'm saying, live our lives, die, and just be middle class? Or you think that it has to be a pursuit for African Americans specifically to be in the wealth class sector?
I think you should do whatever makes you happy. You
Okay.
know, that's what I only think. If you have that kind of ambition, then go for it. If you're happy being working class, if you're happy being middle class, and you're fine with that, then that's and you're there, then be there. Yeah. That's not you know because
Okay.
man, all this stuff is finite. You know what I mean? And like we really just buying into somebody else's illusion about saying how we should be in this world and stuff like that. As long as I can pay my bills, have my ends overlap, and have enough to carry me to the next month, have a house, a car. I can go out and eat if I want to go take a trip, go to a hotel room. I can do those things or whatever. Versus whether it's a 3-star hotel or a 5-star hotel, which to have a 5-star hotel experience would be nice, but not something that like I have to experience. I have to have. So you
Right.
know, money's only a tool. You know.
Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 Um, I think we was talking about. Oh, did you do your research, man? Like, I guess you're doing the male versus beta males, alpha males. I think you talked about that too. So before we get too deep into it, I just want to know, like, what made you kind of make that transition to go ahead and make videos? Because you was mixing up with finances, and then you talked about, okay, some of you brothers just keep complaining on this YouTube sector, man. This is how the game is. Like, as far as like, I think you had a video about what is wrong with black women, and then you talked about,
Right,
listen, bro, you have to do. It's not all about how much money you get or your swag. All of this is conversation. Just having a damn
right.
conversation. Like you just
That's
like.
it.
So was it a lot of brothers complaining on YouTube? What made you make that video? Or
Um, I I think that as a man, right?
yeah,
And I'm Muslim. We're taught that we're supposed to be have a firm resolve. I mean, we're supposed to be the ones who come with the solutions to the problems and the issues, not to
okay,
pour gasoline on the fire. So I see a lot of dudes turn black women down and disrespecting black women, and not saying that black women don't have work to do with themselves and how they conduct themselves with their black man, and in society as a whole. We shouldn't be tearing them down. That's not the answer. Black people have been torn down enough in this country, man, since we've been here. And we all are suffering from a psychosis from slavery that's probably embedded in our DNA, man. So I just wanted to be a voice of balance to the imbalance, because you can go on these saying cats videos, and only word come out of their mouth is bees and that bee this that bee
yeah,
that. Like, really, you know, would you do you think about your mom like that, or your sister, or your daughter, or your aunt? Come on. Even if she's a woman that does not have her moral compass in place, ain't nobody forcing you to deal with that. And when you realize she is that way, the only thing you're supposed to do is say a kind word to her, man, try to point her in the right direction, and then cut yourself loose from her if she doesn't want to go that way. But you got to sit there and tear her down,
right,
because they're the weaker of the sex, you
right.
know. So women may disagree with this, but they're only going to be as strong as we are, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I like how you implement that as some biblical practices. You were just saying, like, as a man, of course, you gotta have the vision and the purpose, and the woman's supposed to assist the man in his vision. So if a
Right,
man doesn't know where he's going, now it's going to be frustrating on the woman now, because the woman going to have to be in a role that the man's supposed to be. So therefore, that's why you have people not in their natural order.
right,
And that's what I think that's the biggest thing is too. And then too, we got this culture too. I think we talked over on the phone a few days ago that this, some people promoting this pump and dump culture.
right.
Women as just sex objects. I mean, it doesn't make it any better. You got some women that's just out there and putting themselves out there, but for the most part, though, it's just like I feel like it's kind of toxic in a way, because we're
It
not
is.
promoting black families. We're not promoting a stable family to the point that, because what I notice is that you go into any community in the world, especially in America, 9 times out of 10, the communities that are doing really well have strong families.
That's right.
Everybody's in their natural order. So I mean, and therefore, you got children know where their place is. I'm not saying everything is perfect, but at the same time, though, when you have it's a different type of feel and atmosphere when a man is on his purpose and the man actually is in the household, and so he can direct his children where they need to go. And so therefore, you won't be having too many children out here lost and getting in trouble with authority and stuff like that. And it's a lot of stuff that goes on. I feel like eternally that we're suffering in the black community. So, like people, I don't even name the YouTubers, but you know what I'm talking about. People who promoting like that type of stuff, talking about the alpha males and stuff like that. Do you think like that's just talk for their personal gain, or do you think like being an alpha male, that's something that we need to focus on as men,
Man, that's just
or if it's
a,
just made
a
up?
bunch of just a bunch of labels that people are creating, and everybody jump on the bandwagon. Like we talk about, like, alpha males and incels. I'm like,
Yeah,
and these terms are just like, I'm like, what?
yeah,
When
that's
I
what I
first
told
started hearing these terms, I'm like, what is that? What they what do they
people.
do?
People
You know what
call
I'm
them
saying?
people call themselves that. Like, man, I'm an incel. I'm like, bro, no, you're not. Like, you're a man.
Right,
Like, what the?
exactly. Why would you own something that's going, you know what I'm saying, that's going to lower your status in society and in your social circles that you do have. This is what I am. Like, no, why would you claim that? You
Right.
know, and I think, man, that we live in a society, man, that can be very exclusionary. That's why guys want to come up and say, "Well, hey, I'm the alpha male. I'm the alpha male. Alpha males do this. Alpha males do that." But when you look at it from the actual sense of the word, and when you apply it to like the animal kingdom, alpha males are the ones who what they are the protectors. You see what I'm
Protector.
saying?
Yeah.
They protect the women, the females and the cubs and stuff like that from foreign invaders and stuff like that. Like with lions, for instance, you may have one to several alpha males of a pride. Their responsibility what is to protect the pride, because they know if other males come in, they run those males off, that they're gonna what? They're gonna try to kill the younglings to put the female lions in the heat so that they can mate with them. So being an alpha male is more than just, hey, saying that you. Matter of fact, being an alpha male is not about running through women. That's just being lustful.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that doesn't even make sense. But like I say, I think it's just the fact of getting views, getting donations, writing books. You know, you hear this guy saying all this crazy stuff. Like, I can say that crazy stuff too. That's really how I feel. The only thing they're feeling is what men already feel, and it's making it, I guess, cool for them to get on that bandwagon and stuff, and they can earn a few dollars in the process. Some of the dudes, man, watching my videos, man, I'm telling you, because if you look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say their name, man, Alpha Male Strategy. If you watch his videos lately, right, his perception of how he's talking about women and racism, whatever, is changed from like several months ago. First it was
Mhm.
pump and dump, we don't care about them hoes and all this kind of craziness. And that's like, if you're gonna be in a relationship, this is what's gonna happen. I may be in a relationship and stuff like that. And this it's just, man, like that's not, your purpose. Let's think about being on purpose, right?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Your
Yep.
purpose is the reason why you believe that you're here. Reason why you believe that you were born into this world.
Yep.
And your purpose, and from my perspective, as a man, is either you're gonna try to be a man of right conduct, a righteous man, or a man that's into things that are unruly, unsavory, wicked, what I'm saying, despot, and then you have the weak ones that's in between the two, you know, because you say you're an alpha male, right? What happens when two alpha males come together? Somebody gotta be the beta. You
Exactly.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Exactly.
Somebody gotta be the beta when two alpha males come together. Can't have two alpha males in the same setting, in the same territory. They just ain't gonna coexist like that. That's why when you see people who are leaders of groups of other people, whatever, you don't see them like hanging with other leaders. You may see them commingle in social environments or whatever, but like in their own setting, it's them and then there's their crew and stuff like that. So you're saying you're an alpha male and you're at the top. What happens when somebody comes to challenge you or whatever? Because hey, every king can be dethroned. Every alpha male can be made a beta male. And I think personally that as human beings, as men, we all have a little bit of everything in us. We can be alpha males, we can be beta, we can be sigmas, purple
Mm-hmm.
pills, red pills, all this other stuff. Because hey, we're not just one dimension. It's gonna be someone that's gonna capture your heart eventually that may end up hurting you and stuff like that. And so if you feel hurt or pain, that makes you beta. I mean, I
No.
don't agree with that, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's what they try to preach or teach.
I think what makes you beta is just if you're an individual that's hiding behind your responsibility. So for instance, if you know that it could be little stuff. You know that you have to do this particular task or whatever, or this bill or anything, but you're to the point that you don't want to take care of their responsibility. So you end up drinking, smoking, or just letting things go by without actually confronting the issue. That's being beta. That's beta characteristics. It has nothing for you being physically strong. It has nothing for you, your physical statue. It has nothing for you
Right,
pulling women. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Because
right,
it's
right.
like, yeah, because it can be like you not being in your child's life. That's you're considered beta.
That's,
You know what I'm saying?
right, absolutely. That's right. That's right.
It has nothing with you. I'm sleeping on these women. No, like so. That's the thing. Like you got to study for an exam, right? But you end up staying up
Mm-hmm.
all night playing video games and not taking care
Right.
of your studies. That's being beta. So
That's so true.
yeah, yeah. So That's all that is. I think we overcomplicated with like who already can get all the women and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with that, you know. At
Right,
the end of the day, you know.
right.
And yeah, and that's why I'm
But
saying some people on YouTube, we know, be preaching that type of stuff, and it's just filling the heads of young brothers, man, out here. You know, they
right,
got confused.
right. You know, that's a very excellent point that you made.
Yeah,
Um, have you ever seen the movie? What is it? Excalibur,
I heard it. Yeah.
about King Arthur. Man, you listen. You have got to watch that movie, right? Because you have. I'm talking like, there's a lot of different like storylines regarding that, whatever. But it's called Excalibur. That's the title of it for the movie King Arthur, right? And there's a part of it where Guinevere and Sir Lancelot, they're not
Mm,
having a love affair, but their affection for one another is visible. And Guinevere is the queen to King Arthur, right?
mm,
So they're at the round table, and one of the knights makes the claim like, hey, she has feelings for one of the people at this table. And so she was just like, how dare you insult me like that or whatever, right? So King Arthur jumps up and is like, you know, if you make a claim like that, you must prove it. And so he asked the round table, he's like, hey, is anybody here that's going to champion my queen? And everybody just like sounds like we all know what's going on.
mhm.
And so then she listens to him like, you're not going to champion me? He's just like, listen, I'm your king and your judge. At that point, that was totally out for me. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't be your champion because I'm your king and I'm your judge. This is my responsibility as this position, right? So Lancelot says, okay, I champion her, right? So he fights the other guy, and Lancelot is unbeatable because King Arthur says that no knight can be bested, if he's on truth and morality. But Lancelot ends up beating him or whatever, and then him and Guinevere, well, no, he beats him, and then King Arthur asks him if he's gonna stay for dinner or whatever, for the round table. He says, no, I'm going back into the woods because my old wound is still healing,
Mm,
talking about his heart for Guinevere, right? So what ends up happening is that she ends up going into the forest after him. And so he has Merlin watching her go into the forest after Sir Lancelot. They end up having an affair in the woods. And what he does, he doesn't kill him, but he takes and puts Excalibur into the trunk of the tree. And so we wake up, he's like, oh man, the king without a sword, and the land without a king. So what happened is King Arthur ends up falling into this stupor, and they go on the quest to find the Holy Grail. And it's Gawain who actually finds the Holy Grail, right? And it's with King Arthur's like spiritual self. And King
yeah.
Arthur asking him, who am I? He said, you are the king, you and the land are one. So he ends up taking the grail from like the spiritual vision of King Arthur, whatever, right? Ends up taking it to the physical vessel of King Arthur. He ends up drinking it and ends up refurbishing him. So what I thought interesting is, what you were saying is the fact that he allowed the woman in his life, due to her bad decision and his best friend, to make him forget his purpose, who
Yeah.
he was. So I thought that movie, man, was a good reflection of what you were saying. Because like, your purpose for being a man, should be defined on, how well you interact with your family and your community. Because it's
Mm,
like, if I'm a man, right? Quick point. If I'm a man, I'll take care of my family. I'm providing for my family. I'm faithful to my wife. And here it is. This other dude, what do you call him? Ray and Pookie. Ray and Pookie, right?
very
You stick
good.
around with my wife. You in the bushes. You in the parking lot in the backseat of the car. You in the bathroom at McDonald's with my woman and stuff like that, right? So because you're doing all this stuff, you're the alpha and I'm the beta. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
You sticking around with
Yeah.
another man's woman, but you're the alpha.
Right.
No, you're the beta.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
are the beta. You know,
Yeah.
the men don't go in bushes and parking lots and you know what I'm saying, and abandoned buildings and stuff like that. We don't carry on like that. That's feminine. Women are
Yeah.
sneaky. We're supposed to be straight up and straightforward and stuff.
Well, that's
So
when it
man,
goes.
their message is just twisted.
Yeah, that's like, the homosexuals, just being with the woman because they can have a place to stay. You got some brothers doing that. You know, that's
Right.
that's that's beta.
Right.
So I'm
That's
just
that's
like,
very beta.
So it's a lot. That lot that goes into that, man. Stephen Dean talks about that. Always have your own place before moving with a woman. Like, because you get into an argument, they can easily kick you out, in which they can. Especially your name's
Right,
not on the list. Now where you
right,
gonna go? You see it all
right,
the time in Facebook videos and stuff like that. Brothers, get kicked out of their woman's house because they made them mad. Because it's hard
right,
to establish your dominance when you in somebody else's
right.
castle. Yes, I'm
You
just saying.
know,
Yeah.
you know who that primarily happens to? Guys living with women either in public housing or on Section 8. That's who that happens to.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a man out here working stuff like that, 9 out of 10, both of y'all names are on the lease.
True.
See what I'm saying? You know, and if she invites you to come and live with her, whatever, I don't know, but like say, at that point,
Yeah.
even if she does, you still pretty much have your own. So if things don't work out, you still can go get your hotel room and get back on your feet and stuff like that. But when you living off a woman, it's like you sitting around playing video games all day long. I'll never live with a woman and number one, not be able to provide and play my part, have my name on the lease and stuff like that. That ain't happening. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly, man. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
but
I mean, where they do that at? Besides, in like, I don't mean to be stereotypical, but like in low income kind of, situations and stuff,
true.
and this is what it is.
Yeah. So you recently, you wrote a book, right, called Wealth Creation, Creation of Wealth. On
Yes.
Amazon. Yeah, you get it on the Kindle version. I looked it up. So it's by you. So that's good. And so it's 30 pages. So what is just give like a little synopsis of the book.
Okay. Wealth creation, creation of wealth. I call it wealth creation because, like I say, we're here to create wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And wealth. I took it from two perspectives, right? I call it wealth creation because with wealth you can create more wealth. See what I'm saying? And then you have an excellent idea, you can build wealth from that aspect of it, right? So say like, Warren Buffett is Warren Buffett, but because he's able to take the amount of money he have and invested into stocks and stuff like that,
Right.
and build more money from those stocks. Whereas someone else may take their money and put it into like physical things like buying timber, getting us a person with a cement mixer to actually build a building and lease this building or put their product into the building to make money. So what I wanted to explain to people is that being wealthy starts in your mind first, and that you have to understand that you have to be disciplined and principled with dealing with money, and that money is not the be all end all. Money is merely an instrument to make wealth. Money in and of itself does not have any value. And I say that because if you take $100, right, or $1,000, right, take $1,000, right, and you put it underneath your mattress. 10 years from now, it's still gonna be $1,000,
Yes.
and 10 years from now, it won't have the same amount of spending, power as it does today. But if you take that $1,000 and you put it into a stock or you put it into a business, that money begins to work for you and ends up making you more money. Money only negotiates resources for you to actually put the things together that you want to put together to make money, unless you're just a consumer. Then you go to a 9 to 5, get paid, you get that money to somebody else for them
Right.
to reinvest in their business or company or whatever to make more money. So it was just trying to give people an aspect of don't focus so much on the money, focus on the process to make the money and stuff like that. Like say, I wrote a book. I say I may sell anywhere from 5 to 15 copies in a year and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it's not a lot, but still
That
feels good to
residual.
have something that's out there that
Yeah.
I get a bing on my email. It's gonna be deposited in your account in X
Yep.
amount of days.
That's your
You know,
royalties. Yeah, that's royalties and stuff.
right?
And that's good too, man. Your book is and I was gonna ask you too. So since yours on Amazon and stuff, it can be on there forever, right? Are you paying like yearly to keep your book on Amazon for people to purchase? Okay.
No, actually Amazon kind of gave me a raw deal because it was through a company called oh wow Create Space.
Okay.
And to create space, whatever, right? I had it on Amazon, and then I had it actually from CreateSpace. So whenever someone would buy the book, I would direct them towards CreateSpace. But I got a larger percentage of the book than when it was on Amazon. Amazon bought out CreateSpace, and they gave me even a smaller percentage. You know what I'm saying? The CreateSpace was when CreateSpace had it, or even when they were actually advertising for CreateSpace. But it's fine. You know, it's my intellectual property. And
Yeah.
you know, saying, hey, I don't have to do anything, but hey, just let it be up there. And when people watch my videos, I talk to people, you know, as I go out and about, whatever they decide to buy the book. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, within, you know, I think every quarter, you know, I get an update letting me know that hey, I've made money. So, you know, in that aspect of it, I'm fine. And what I do with that money is that I put into investment. You know,
That's
that's what I'm
good.
taking, say, put in my pocket and spend. I put it into something. I put it into stock, whatever. I put it into something else that I'm trying to do. See what I'm saying?
That's
Because that's the point. You want to keep your money making more money. You don't want to say, let me put this in my pocket, let me go spend it. No, keep it out there making more money for you. That's how you eventually, you know, become rich or
Yep.
wealthy, should I say.
That's good, man. That's good. Well, that's about pretty much wrap everything I wanted to say, man. You know, continue to do the good work, man. I'm pretty sure you're gonna continue to do uploads on your YouTube channel.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, man. You know, continue to do that support, man. I appreciate you doing that, man. Because yeah, you just never know who's watching, man. I know you've been making videos for years and stuff like that,
Right,
man.
right,
And I was just like, man, this, you know, he knows what he's talking about too. You know, about the whole situation with the Bank of America and all that type of stuff.
right.
So okay, yeah. So that's good, man. So that's excellent, brother. I'm gonna read this comment by Screen Learn. He said exactly we can use inflows from an asset to buy another asset. Rinse and repeat. Being wealthy does start in our minds. A poverty mindset makes others rich. That is so true. You know, be a producer then instead of a consumer. Yeah,
Right,
it's rinse and repeat, man. Use the money that you're making and invest it
right.
into something that can make you even more money. So that's the whole purpose, man. So hopefully I can get you on here more, you know what I'm saying? And I could probably be on
Certainly,
your
sure.
channel as well. Yeah, I appreciate you doing this, man. So, because I'm trying to,
Okay.
you know, I like to do more interviews and hear other people's perspective on things, man. So,
Right.
yeah, this is excellent, man. So, I want everyone to go ahead and subscribe to KhalidisEternal. It's in the description box. Check out his book too on Amazon. Creation of Wealth, Wealth Creation. It's good. It's a good book. You know, I'm
Thank you.
probably gonna order it pretty soon too. It's 30 pages, so go ahead and get that, man. Um, and yeah, man. So, is anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
Um, I just want to say is that, you know, don't let other people define for you who you are and how you should be. You
Mm.
know, define that for yourself. And you know, when people let you down, don't let it take you under. Learn from it and grow from it. And I just want to let people know that, regardless of whether it's your mom, your dad, your grandmama, your granddaddy, your child, your wife, your girlfriend, people will always let you down in some form or another. The only sure satisfaction that you'll have in this life is from God the Creator. Because anybody else, man, they always gonna fall short and make mistakes and, you know what I'm saying, cause bad decisions. And some people never have your good interests at all from the start. But if you really pay attention, you know, you read, you learn, you watch good brothers like yourself and me and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
you'll begin to see people for who they are as you meet them, or people that you've already dealt with. Man, like I say, I don't really use the word like friend. I don't use the word friend. I say a
Mm-hmm.
person that was kind of close to me. Because if you're my friend, then you're my family. See what I'm saying? You're like a blood relative. Who I
Right.
found out, like when I went through my hardship, whatever, is that people who I helped and were instrumental to in their life didn't show the same amount of love to me when I went through
Funny,
my
man, how that
situation.
is. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like when you in certain situation, man, you be willing to help them, but it's like, damn, you know, everybody got the excuses in the world. That's crazy.
yeah, right. But like I say, you don't let it. You just learn from it and you let it make you strong. You
Hmm.
know, say, okay, I'm not gonna be in this situation here again. I'm gonna make sure, like you said, I'm gonna pay myself first every time I get something. I don't care what's due, what I owe, like I cut something short or whatever. I'm gonna make sure I pay myself something first, so that if I am in need, I can depend on me. Because depend on somebody else ain't guaranteed.
Yep. Hey man, yeah,
Ain't
you
guaranteed,
are
bro.
absolutely correct, man. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Because I know it's a mental fortitude that you had to. I think you said you had some financial difficulties. I think you said you
Oh
was at
yeah,
home at one point, and
oh
for
yeah.
4.
First time in
So
my life.
man, so what? How long were you homeless at one point?
Um,
Like a few months,
October, October, November, December, January, February, March. About 7 months.
about 7 months. In that
Yeah,
time,
7 months. Yeah.
you was in and out of shelters and stuff like that. And how did you?
Yeah.
So before we wrap it up too, I want to get this stuff. So how did you pull yourself up like within those 7 months? Like was you getting like job applications? Did somebody give you opportunity?
Man, I was putting in job applications.
Hmm.
I was you know going to temporary service and stuff like that. And man,
Okay.
I worked my butt off. See what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Until I got myself out of that condition and got myself, you know what I'm saying, into a place. And I could continue to push forward. So I gotta tell people, never wherever you're going through, first and foremost, I'm a God fearing man. So first
Yeah.
I gotta thank God for everything that I've been able to go through and overcome. And hey, he'll put that spirit in you of never give up. Always keep pushing. I'm gonna open the door for you when I say it's time for that door to open. So the thing you gotta do is keep doing what you're doing. And hey, that you ain't gonna know where that door is at. When you go to that door, it's gonna open for you. All the blessings that I have for you are gonna be there. I'm gonna continue to bless you and stuff like that, man. So that's what you gotta do, man. Because for every like a guy told me once, right? He said he had a situation going on, right? He said he knocked on 19 doors, and all 19 doors said no. He knocked on the
Mm.
20th door, right? And the woman came to the door and said, "Yes, I'll help you." Said, "Only thing I want you to do is come in and allow me to share the word with you." So he said, "Yeah, sure." So he said he went to the lady house, whatever. She sat there and talked with him, something like that about scripture, and then wrote him a check for $1,000.
Wow.
So regardless how many doors that may seem closed on you,
Mhm.
if you have faith, you hold on, you keep pushing, whatever, God will open the door for you. You
Yeah.
know, you just gotta have the
Agreed.
fortitude just to deal with it. And then you learn from your experiences and you say, okay, I'm not gonna make that mistake again. I'm gonna have my savings, I'm gonna have my investments.
Hmm.
I'm going to put things aside. I don't care what I'm going through, I'm not gonna touch. If I need it, I'm gonna go try to give me a side hustle. You just gotta wait till I can give it to you.
Hmm.
I'm gonna pay you, but you just gotta wait. And just this man, just make sure that you try to um, take care of yourself. And if you have a wife and children, stuff like that, teach your children and your wife to function like a business.
Mm.
Everybody pulls in, everybody chips in. Everybody contributes to the pot. Because number one, you teach your children to be responsible. Number two, you teach your wife to contribute to your household. That's why it's called what? A partnership. We're
Yeah.
partners.
Yep.
When you go
Yep.
buy a car, whatever, and you're doing business with the car dealership, you go buy a house, whatever, you're doing business as a legal entity with another legal entity. you
Hmm.
know, and legal entities don't take losses. Like while we're in retail, whatever, right? They say, well, we want to try to keep those employee pilfering down and external pilfering down, meaning stealing or whatever, right? Because what happens is that when people steal a lot from us, our insurance goes up, we take the loss of the profit, then we have to pass it on to the customer. Why does that
Hmm.
be passed on to the customer? Because they're not going to take the loss.
Right.
So you have to run your family like that. Look, we're not here to take losses and stuff like that. Already in the bank, man, people call and say, listen, I pay my credit card on time, and you guys charge me 7 cents interest. I
Interest.
know it's
Yeah.
only 7 cents, but
Yeah.
I need that. That's mine. And
Right.
I'm talking about people that had like 30, 40, $50,000 in their accounts. $100,000 credit line. They will call in for 7 cents. They will call in for 3 cents. They will not let the bank have anything that belongs to them. That's one thing that we expect to do. We like, oh, don't worry, keep the change. Oh, I ain't worried about that.
Yeah.
No,
We
put
do
that
say
change in
that.
the change jar. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah, man, just keep pushing, man. Like I say, be yourself, be true to yourself, and love yourself. I say the same thing to the NCL guys, man. Hey, listen,
Oh, yeah.
get in, get in where you fit in. If you're an NCL guy, most likely you're probably a little bit like me. You know what I'm saying? Just not as cool yet, but a little bit like me.
Yeah.
You're into Dragon Ball Z. You're into. I love
Anime.
anime.
Yeah.
I do the anime thing. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, you supposed to cut your hair. Put some nice little khakis on and a plaid
Yeah.
shirt.
Do
Some little
you?
cologne. Go to Comic Con. There's plenty
Yeah.
of beautiful women at Comic Con. You know, you used to talk about Star Trek and stuff like that. You know, I talked to one girl who was like a really, I mean, she was heavy into it, man. And I said like the Mr. Spock thing, what else? She was a Trekkie, and she like, if you go to Comic-Con, you miss say that, they eat you alive. I'm like, really?
Yeah,
Say, yeah, they eat you alive, man. So you gotta get
yeah.
in where you fit in at, man. And everybody has a place somewhere,
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
I agree. That's good. Important what you said too. Like especially brothers who feeling down and stuff. Cause I'm not gonna name any names, but I've been seeing channels that have
Right,
a base of brothers just angry, upset about
right,
life and depressed and what I'm saying and just frustrated about just women and everything. I think subconsciously that when I listen to like when you listen to Red Pills and MGTOWs and stuff like that, they want a strong family. They really do. They don't want to admit it,
right,
but the thing is that because we're wired, we're like you said, we're wired in our
right,
DNA to procreate, to take care of a family. That's the whole purpose of life, really, and to
right,
utilize everything that you learn from God's experiences in
right,
life to pass it down to your children. That's all that is,
right.
you know. Um, and I just think, they, what I'm saying, they just getting denied and stuff like that. They feel like it's nothing for them in life. And I'm just tell you that it is, it's just that,
Right.
like you said, you have to redirect yourself, focus on your passion, your purpose, and all that
That's
stuff
right.
it's gonna come,
Right.
man. And
Practice,
and I,
practice
I
make practice make perfect. You know what I'm saying? Practice makes
yeah,
perfect, man. And like I say, just you know, just be yourself, man. And just like I say, when you approach women, whatever, approach them like just like you approach anybody. Because like when you are like thinking about look, men we think about sex all the time, man. I want to have
yeah,
sex with her. So we're intimidated because we know that's our end goal for the most part. You know what I mean? We may like her, whatever. Our end goal is to have sex, so that pressure's on us. Like, man, I want her to like me. But if you just approach it from the point of being desireless, they say, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Where you from? You come here often. Yeah, I'm here all the time. You know what I'm saying? Try to get a little joke in and stuff like that. And,
mhm,
wow her with your excellence, wow her with your conversation. Make her want to be around you more and stuff like that for whatever excellence that you have inside of you. And you'll find eventually that, people will start to gravitate towards you and stuff like that. But that's it's really a skill set that's developed through trial and error and learning
yes,
from other people around you and stuff. And with those red pill guys, man, they have a fear of being hurt.
I think that's
They
what it
try
is.
to kill their emotions, so they don't want to take the chance of being hurt, man. But being a man, you learn how to take the pain and hurt, and you just push forward despite the pain and hurt, and put the pain and hurt to the side, and don't let it change you for the worse. We're gonna be hurt in this world.
Right,
We're gonna be let
exactly.
down in this world. You know.
Well, I remember this somebody told me this pastor said, if you don't want to be if you don't want to have relationship problems, don't be in a relationship. And I was
That's
just like,
right.
it comes with it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If
Right.
you don't want to be, wealthy or you want to be, independent stuff, don't try
Mm-hmm.
to be an entrepreneur. Like, I mean,
Right.
it comes with it, I mean,
Right.
everything's not easily given. And another thing too, I just want to say this about this whole red pill stuff. It's just that, I mean, yeah, sometimes they give this decent advice, but at the same time, though, I think subconsciously the people who are really making it on YouTube first with the real pill content, they getting all these thousand subscribers,
Right.
they continue to feed. They don't want. I feel like they don't want their subscribers to get better, if that makes
No,
sense,
they don't.
because it gives
Right.
them more traction and more revenue. So of course they're gonna
Right.
come up with all the dysfunction and stuff like that, man. I just think it's a very toxic way to really get advice on how to be a man. You listen to
Right.
Red Pill. It's my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a side and there's something inside of all of us or whatever that we always should try to strive and conquer, and some of us don't. Is that we're drawn to controversy for something that's balanced and just rational because there's really no excitement in that. Anything that's
Mhm.
controversial, that's negative, whatever, we have an interest to know what is that about, what's going on, what's happened. Oh, they did that. Oh, this is how women really are, you know. And it takes hold of you, whatever, and takes you into a world that's really unrealistic, because all women share certain characteristics, but they all are not the same. This is all of us is not the same. We're very different. We share
Exactly.
some characteristics. And for my NCL guys, man, I want y'all to watch a movie, man, called Tale of Steve, man. It'll help you out, man. That was a good movie, man. It was really like, the guy was just like, hey, man, he'll teach guys how to get girls or whatever, right? and he was just like, man, we're competing with all these, flat 6-pack ab, chisel chin guys, whatever. So you got to know how to, maneuver and be excellent to women and stuff like that, and draw the interest in. So it's called check it out too, man. It's called A Tale of Steve. It's a funny movie, but like when you listen to it or whatever, because I like watch a video, I'll read a book, I'll talk to somebody or whatever, and I go try it. When I was younger, like man, this really worked. Wow, okay. Wow, okay. So
I was listening to, I think I think you were saying like you say you into comics and stuff like that and anime. So are you working on like developing your own comic, like your Black superhero? Because I think you was talking about that.
Yeah, man, that's something I haven't been able to really put any time into. But that is a passion of mine. Absolutely.
Okay.
I like it to be like Black Panther was great, but I think we need like a black hero on the level of Thor, like a powerhouse, and we don't have that as yet. I think Blue Adam. I think it's Blue Adam from Marvel. I think he's the closest thing to it, but no, the Marvel character. He was like in some kind of a experiment. I think it's Blue Marvel. He's from he's part of the new Avengers, Blue Marvel. Yeah, but I don't think he's getting any really good traction and stuff like that. So I would like to see like a really
I would say we had my man's name from he had a show, man. Oh my god. It's tip of my tongue. Oh my god. It was on Netflix. Black dude. Oh my god.
You talk about
my tongue,
Power Fist, those Power Fist. What's that dude name, man? I know you talk about.
I'm trying to look
his name is right now, man.
It's getting me upset, man. It's giving me upset. What's the name of it? Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, right.
Yeah, we had Luke. I mean, Luke Cage. He's straight, but
yeah, he's decent, right?
Yeah, but Luke Cage. We have, we got Johnny On, Black Bolt. We got, of course, Black Panther, Storm. I mean, we got interesting, like characters and stuff. But I think with
that's true.
Yeah, I think with you that would be really good, man. Have like a Black Incredible Hulk or something like that would be kind of
right. Like I said, they're not the same level like Thor, the Sentry. You know what I'm saying? They like the top tier, the Hulk. They like top tier powerhouses, in Marvel. Wonder Man. Who else? Colossus. You know what I mean? So man, I want to see a power. I want to see somebody, run the gamut on Thor one time, looking like us. You know what I mean? Press him. I want to see him get pressed by one of us. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Man. But yeah, I guess I'm going ahead and wrap it up, man.
Okay, my brother.
Things to do, but I appreciate you coming on here. Everybody subscribe to KhalidisEternal on his YouTube channel. Thank you, brother, for coming on this this live stream. You had a good time, brother.
I enjoyed it, man. It's been a pleasure. I hope we get to do it again real soon.
Oh yeah, we will. You got my contact information. Like I said, I'll call you or you call me and stuff. You can talk offline or anything about business and stuff like that. Cause I'm really interested in that. Cause I'm trying to do this, get into this real estate stuff going on real soon.
Right.
And start doing that really soon though. So probably next year.
Okay.
But yeah, man. Appreciate you and everything. You guys take care and blessings, brother.
Blessings, my brother. Until next time now. Peace.
All right. Till next time.
All right now. Stay in purpose.
All right. All right, brother.
All right now.